Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I just feel like it has been so long since I just did a video that either was a makeup tutorial or me just putting makeup on my face that wasn't like an individual product review. I feel like it's been so long since I did like a favorites or something like a try on haul, something like that, where I can just talk to you, talk about all these products that I love. It's been a while. So that's what we're going to do today. It's kind of like an August favorites, a try on, second impressions of some of this stuff that I've reviewed and just kind of updating you and how I'm getting on with them, and yeah, just chatting about life, you know. Keep calm, soon to be a dad. Now that would be a video. So what has been going on with me? I'm so sorry. I don't know that anyone has actually noticed. Maybe that's something that I should worry about, but I have really been struggling with my uploads in the last month, I'd say, because it has been school holidays here. My kids don't actually go to school yet. My daughter is about to start next week. We're not going to talk about it because I'm in denial. But we decided to take her out of preschool or like nursery for a few weeks just so she could have like a summer and enjoy that, spend lots of time with me and on my own, because obviously normally her little brother is always there, so me and her have been spending like some day dates together, which has been amazing. But it has meant that I haven't really been able to film like I normally would. So normally I have Mondays where I can kind of do anything and I can film all day and edit all day, and that's when I get everything done. That's been like my mummy-daughter time for the month of August, so I've been relying on like pre-filmed videos and just snatching moments here and there where I can to film. So evenings and just when my husband's been here at the weekends and stuff like that, but it has been a real struggle. So I apologise if you kind of noticed that some of the videos have been a bit older or just not as relevant, I guess, to the current climate. I'm just going to be dipping into my Norvina palette, which I've been obsessed with. I'm going to use the shade Love first. I love this palette. No pun intended. I do love this palette. I have been using it non-stop. I don't know if you guys know, but when I first ordered this palette or received this palette that I had ordered, it had a scratch in it, or it had a strand of glue in one of the pans, and I pulled it out innocently and it left a big scrape in one of the shadows. And so then I was waiting on like the new palette, and I knew that I wanted to sell the damaged one because they let me keep it. They said I could just keep it, do whatever I wanted with it. So I knew I wanted to put it on eBay, which meant I couldn't touch it, and it took them like a couple of weeks to get the replacement to me, and oh my god, it was so painful because it was just sat there looking at me. I couldn't use it, I couldn't touch it, and yet it was sitting there staring at me. It actually made me think about just using it and then selling like the perfect one when it arrived, but that's just silly and a bit impatient, isn't it? But that's how I felt. Obviously I polled you guys about whether you wanted the 10 Looks One palette with this one or whether you wanted it with the Modern Renaissance, and it was like ridiculously close. When I first put that poll up, I literally didn't think anyone was gonna vote. I just thought, let's give it a go, because I didn't know which to do, and I felt like I told you I was gonna do Modern Renaissance next, but then Norvina came along and I felt like people would be more impatient to see that one because it was new. So I didn't know what to do, and then it was quite new to me that I was able to make community posts. I don't know what I did, but I just suddenly got this message saying, oh, you can now make community posts. I guess maybe it was when I got to 10,000 or something, I don't know. So yeah, I suddenly got this message saying, you can now do community posts, which is very exciting, but I didn't think anyone was going to respond. And then pretty much 600 of you did. And I've got another one going now, which is to see whether you wanted me to review the new Too Faced Dewy Foundation and the new Laura Geller Filter First Foundation. Basically whether you'd prefer me to do separate reviews of both foundations, or whether you would prefer I did like a side-by-side half face of each, because I guess they sound similar. They both are appear to be like medium to full coverage, dewy finish. So I wasn't sure if you were going to be like, oh, bored to death me doing two similar foundations. So whether it was better to do a comparison. But no, it seems like the vast majority of you want separate reviews, which is fine by me, because I do agree, I do think that would be better. I think it's easier to see. Sometimes when you do half a face, you can't really see things like white cast as well, or the finish, or the wear, because obviously on me, foundations start wearing on my chin and my nose, and how can you really do a half chin of each foundation? You can't really. By the way, I cleaned all of my brushes at midnight last night for this video, so you could see nice clean brushes and not the filthy ones that I was presented with when I looked at my makeup brush holder yesterday. So you will all notice how clean my brushes are, please, and appreciate the vision of me at midnight last night scrubbing all my brushes in the sink, because that is dedication. I'm definitely planning to do the Modern Renaissance as well. I always plan to do both. It was just about which one I would do first, because I do like to take a bit of a break in between them, because I don't want it to be too repetitive, and also to rest my eyelids. Although this time they were absolutely fine. But it is like really arduous, that video. It takes like a whole day to film and edit it. That was Volatile, by the way, that I was using in my crease. And now going in with Wild Child. I'm actually gonna spray my brush, because I didn't do this in my 10 looks, because I don't like to sort of alter the shadows when I do those videos. I just want you to see it. But I do like to spray my brush normally for normal purposes. So I'm going in with Wild Child now. But yeah, those videos, they are a lot of work, they are really hard, and I just get absolutely brutalized in the comments of those videos. It's then hard, like this time especially, I was just like, had some quite rude, mean comments, and I was just like, oh, I'm not doing these again, like, I don't know what the point is. It's just a bit frustrating when, you know, I do say at the beginning, I'm not a professional, I'm not a makeup artist, I'm no better than anybody else at doing my makeup. That's the whole point of those videos, is to, you know, show people who have no particular skill and don't have that much time or energy, or just don't want to be doing cut creases and things like that. That's like the whole purpose of those videos, and I always say that in the video. I say all my disclaimers, I tell everyone, these are not going to change your life. They're supposed to be quick, easy, simple, everyone can do, minimal shadows, minimal brushes, and I still get brutalized that you can't do makeup and you suck and you can't blend, and I'm just a bit like, I'd love you to do 10 eyeshadow looks back to back and then talk to me about how your blending was during that process, because your arm will fall off and your battery will run out if you blend like you obviously would for one. So it's like exhausting, and it just, after you've spent an entire 24 hours making the video, because lots of people tell you it helps them, to then get destroyed in the comments just makes me not want to do it. But I will do, because it's not about them, it is about you guys who actually find them useful. And to be honest, those comments, I think I got about 5 or 6 this time, and I think I had like 200 comments on the video, so it goes to show that the vast majority of you, and so many of you will say, oh, it's so helpful. So it is worth it. I just need to like brace myself, which I do, because I do always know that those videos do attract criticism, because people have like a certain expectation of like people using eyeshadows on YouTube, and regardless what you say as far as, you know, what the look is supposed to be and what my skill level is, they just don't care. Or they probably, to be fair, just don't listen to that bit. They're probably just fast forwarding so that they can critique you. So along those, I don't want to dwell too much on negativity, but I do just want to thank you guys for always being so supportive. And I don't really like, I know a few times recently when I've got really horrendous comments, I've posted them to my Instagram, like I've screenshotted the comment and posted it to my Instagram. And the point is not to like, this is the L'Oreal Unlimited, by the way, which I am still very much enjoying. I am quite lazy sometimes, I don't bother to bend it, but it really does make a big difference on this inner corner to bend the wand, it really does. But yeah, the purpose isn't like to, you know, blast this person, although they deserve it. It's more like, I find it really helpful and therapeutic. The first time I did it, I got so much support, and also just people saying hilarious things when I was in like quite a sad, down, frustrated, upset place because of the comment. And then I posted on Instagram, everyone was making me laugh. They were, you know, like calling this person like just really funny names, not mean, nasty names, but like funny ones. Which just really cheered me up. So I did it again the next one that I got that was, it wasn't so, was it nasty? I guess it was just ridiculous and rude and silly. When someone was basically saying that my fake tan looked ridiculous. This is a little secret I've been keeping from you. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Flawless Hydrating Primer with SPF 45, which I've been obsessed with. I haven't really mentioned it on my channel yet because I've been testing it out and trying it out under all different foundations and things, but I love it, really like it. The only real issue I have is that whenever I say Estee Lauder, I want to say it in the style of Phoebe talking about Nestlé Toulouse. And if you don't know what I mean by that, we're gonna have a problem. But yeah, I have had this comment a few times. Now, some people, I have this comment because they're like, you know, complimenting me. So they'll say, look, what's happening? This is the SPF that's making me a ghost. But don't worry, this goes away. Because of all the SPF, by the way, I recommend putting this on, you know, and giving it a good few minutes before you go in with foundation. Just to let it soak right in. But yeah, so I get it, quite a lot of people will be like saying, oh, what fake tan do you use? It looks lovely. And obviously I haven't got fake tan on. I mean, you can see, well, maybe you might just think that I'm not fake tanning my face, but I use obviously a lot of SPF on my face and you can see the difference with my body. I don't think it looks like I've got fake tan on, but apparently lots of people do. I'm probably like an NC 35 to 37-ish at the moment, which is nowhere near my darkest. I can get up to like an NC 42 if I was to go on holiday or something. Obviously I haven't been on holiday. It's just been a bit sunny here. But I do have olive skin. I have always tanned a lot. By the way, this is the Nars All Day Natural Radiant. But yeah, then, so I get the people who are just like, oh, you know, you look lovely, what tan are you using? And then I get the people going, oh, your fake tan looks disgusting. And I'm just like, do you know how rude that is, given that it's not fake tan, this is just actually my skin? And like the first time it happened, I said, that's just my skin tone, I'm not wearing fake tan. Crickets. And actually, that time, the girl just like went, oh, whoops. Like, that's funny. And then was like, oh, maybe it's just your lighting making you look orange, which to be fair, it did, and I could see what she meant, but still rude. But it was when I had my old rubbish camera. But at least she was like, one, believed me what I was saying, and two, was a little bit embarrassed by it. Whereas this one the other week just wouldn't believe me. Like, oh yeah, okay, oh, sure it is, sis. She kept calling me sis, and I was just a bit like, this is embarrassing. I am a 34-year-old wife and mother, and you're probably 12 years old going around calling me sis, as if I'm supposed to be like scared, and it was just all a bit much. But yeah, so I did try to, by the way, I'm using the shade Aruba, which is like my tan shade. It's a pretty good match for me when I'm tanned. And I love this shade. I love this foundation. I recently picked up my summer shade because I was kind of missing it. And I have actually been reaching for this one over my Huda because it is like nice and full coverage, but it is a bit more luminous. So this is my problem with dealing with like people like this who say, you know, disgusting things like this to you and just abuse and insult you like for entertainment, apparently. I know I should just ignore it, I do. But I think the thing is that my like circumstances, my life, my personality is so different to these people that I fully think that if I reply to them saying it's not actually fake tan, it's just my skin tone, I literally am expecting them to go, oh, I'm so sorry, that's like, I'm so rude, you know, I'm so sorry, it's just, you know, you're so tan. And I thought, it was fake tan, apologies. That's what I'm genuinely expecting to happen, which is why I reply when I know I've been on here nearly a year and a half now. I should know better. That's not what they're going to say. Do you see how smooth and luminous everything looks? And I feel like the primer does just a really amazing job, and I love how much SPF is in it, because lots of my favorite foundations, including this one, has no SPF, so I love that it's got so much in it. So yeah, so the first thing she came back basically saying she didn't believe me, that it was definitely fake tan. And then I tried to sort of, you know, talk some sense into her and kind of tried to say like, you know, that's like really rude and like offensive to be like saying, like she was saying I looked ridiculous and disgusting. So I kind of like went back and said, you know, that's really rude, inoffensive, like inoffensive. That's really rude and offensive and completely inappropriate to be like tearing someone apart based on what, whether you believe it or not, is their like natural skin tone. Like, can you not see why that is not okay? And then she just started kicking off about how I was white privileged and, oh, poor little white girl, like being like offended and like, oh wow, white people 2018. And I was just a bit like, at that point I realised there's clearly no talking any sense with this person. Clearly I was in no way, to anyone with any common sense, trying to say that like I was in the same position that lots of people, particularly like women of colour or people of colour, as far as having like a rough ride because of my skin tone. Clearly that was not what I was saying. The message I was trying to put across was not necessarily even about me, but that saying anything about anyone's skin tone in a derogatory way, you know, tearing someone apart because their skin tone is just completely unacceptable to me. It doesn't really matter whether you're white British, as she kept saying to me, or if you're black, or if you're Asian, or what your skin tone or nationality or heritage is. Saying anything to anyone derogatory, I mean even not about skin tone, is not acceptable, but especially about your natural appearance, your natural skin tone, your body. It's just, to me, just so inappropriate, I can't even understand it. But obviously then she started going at me, like basically calling me a racist. So that was when I blocked her. But clearly I should have just blocked her from the beginning, because I don't know why I thought she was like here for a, you know, a respectful debate about whether my skin tone was real or not. I just get lured in, and then I'm in before I've realised what's happening. Just gone with a new MAC Studio Fix 24-hour concealer and the Huda powder, both of which I really, really like still. I do still prefer my Too Faced concealer, but the MAC one is a close second. I'm just going to set my face with the MAC Next to Nothing powder. I don't usually set my face, but just recently, particularly with this Nars foundation, I have been liking setting it a little bit with this powder, because it does make it wear a bit longer and it stops it sort of transferring or anything like that, which can be an issue when you have young kids. But anyway, I am trying my best to get a bit savvier when it comes to people, you know, like that. I should just block them. You know, if it's not a sort of happy, positive vibe, supportive vibe of me, then I just need to start blocking people and being stricter. So this is the eye makeup, by the way, that I wore to this wedding that I went to recently. First wedding I've been to in so long. It was a family wedding. My husband's cousin, I think she would be. Maybe like a second cousin. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow in the medium deep shade, and this bronzer. It's so nice. Look at that. Both of these kits, I have both of them. I love them both. This one obviously suits my skin tone a bit better at the moment because I am more tanned. Bronzer wise, the other one is a bit light for me right now. And this one is more luminous in the finish. Feels so weird having a clean MAC 135 because it's never clean. But yeah, I had such a good time. I haven't been to a wedding for so long, and actually I think the last wedding I went to, I think it would have been my sister's. No, maybe it would have been my cousin's. I think it would have been my cousin's. And my sister's was in Barbados, so it was like quite a different vibe to, you know, a sort of English like church wedding. And there was only sort of 10 of us there. So it was like amazing. And I had like a whole holiday, which was incredible. But it was obviously different to your average wedding. So this was, yeah, the first wedding I've been to probably in 2 years, and we were kid-free, which actually I didn't like. I really would have loved to have taken the kids and like had them, you know, dress up in a little suit and a little dress. They weren't invited. It was a quite small wedding, and they had like sort of they had lots of little bridesmaids and what do you call them, page boys. And only they were the only kids that were invited, which was like, I think it was like her nieces and nephews, which was like fair enough, obviously. I didn't have kids at my wedding, I only had one. So yeah, we just let our hair down and partied, but I would have loved to have taken them because I don't know when we'll have another wedding really. Certainly not a family one where kids might be invited, so I just really want, you know, I'd love her to be, my daughter to be a bridesmaid before she's too big. But I don't know who that's going to be for. I'm just going to go in with a bit more of the Unlimited mascara. Whenever I do my makeup while I'm filming, I get so much mascara on my eyelids because my mirror is right in front of me, and normally when I do mascara I keep my mirror down here, so that doesn't happen. Just going to quickly do my brows off camera because you guys have seen that a million times, and I always have my brow routine linked down below, but I will be using the Kat Von D Signature Brow Pencil. It's still my fave. Okay, eyebrows back. By the way, I feel like my eyebrows have had such a glow up recently, mainly because people kept on picking on me about them. So I have worked really hard, so it does go to show that I feel like anyone can get good at doing things like eyebrows. I'm not saying I'm the best, don't come for me, but yeah, don't feel like because you can't do eyebrows you can't get better at them, because I definitely have. So I'm just going under the lower lash line with that Love shade again. And because all I'm doing today is actually a bank holiday Monday, I don't know if Americans would know what a bank holiday Monday is, but it's basically everybody has it off work. Not everybody. People in like hospitality and stuff like that won't. And there's always like lots of family things to do, so we're just meeting some friends and going to like a farm shop type of thing. So we're going in with base on the brow bone. Love this shade. This will be probably the first one I hit pan on because you're kind of drawn into using it every time you use the palette because it's just there looking at you saying put me on your brow bone. And then this is the Dreamer on the inner corner. Probably the second shade I'll hit pan on. So that is eyeshadow done. And I wanted to talk to you about this eye pencil. So this is MAC's Teddy Eye Kohl, and it's like a really sort of luminous brown, deep brown shade. And I've been loving it for my upper waterline or like tight lining with it. Just really, for me, it opens the eyes up, frames them really nicely. Because I have hooded eyes, my eyes just want to cry so much right now. So much. But yeah, because I have hooded eyes, I love the look of winged liner and just gel liner, but it takes up too much of my eye space, so I can't deal. Whereas if I do this, tight line with it, or use it in my waterline, I feel like it achieves all the same good stuff without taking up any lid space. I really recommend this pencil for this. It's the perfect shade. So for highlight, I'm going to be using my Dior highlighter palette. This is the Backstage one I showed you in the review. I know I showed you guys me using these two like as my main highlighter, and I like the white one down the bridge of my nose, inner corners, stuff like that. Recently, I've been mixing a bit of the white with the pink, just because I feel like the pink gets neglected, and look at that. I am not mad at this combo, I love it. I feel like the pink sort of takes away too much of the bright white, like stark white on my more tan skin tone, just makes it more wearable for me. And it also means I'm getting some use out of the pink shade, which I didn't really think I would, because it is too frosted for like a blush, even though I think they call it a blush. To me it's too frosted, it's too sort of Barbie pink. But yeah, I really like the combo of these two together, and it means I can get some use out of that pink shade, which is probably the only one I wouldn't really use otherwise. Using the gold shade above my brow, Visvo and chin. As usual, I'm going to go down the bridge of my nose with the white. So something else I wanted to update you guys on is that I am sadly no longer working at my job. It is a long story, but essentially it just wasn't working. So basically when I went back to work after I had my son, which was my second maternity leave, I had to go back to a slightly different job than I had before, because the other job ceased to be an option in the year that I had maternity leave. It was no longer a job for me to go back to, basically. So I was given a slightly different, same job, but like slightly different. So this is the Sephora blush in Sweet on You, which the beautiful Mel sent me in our box swap. So I'm a bit worried because this blush brush is a little damp. And this blush scares me at the best of times, even though it looks so pretty on. So yeah, essentially I went back to a slightly different job, and I had to go back as a contractor rather than as an employee for like a few different reasons, but basically that's just what I had to do. And that just kind of gave me like a lot of hassle. Like I had to do things like tax returns, and I had to get like insurance and sort like my own pension out, and basically do all the stuff that like your job does for you if you're employed. So that was quite stressful. And then because my new job was a lot less hours than my old job, pay wise I was earning a lot less, but having to pay out for lots of stuff myself. Like I had to buy my own laptop and pay for my own phone and pay for my own liability insurance and all this stuff. And also just, it was not just money, but also like the time and everything, an effort of doing all this stuff. And I was only really doing like a day a week. So it just wasn't very economical use of my time, basically. But it just wasn't a good fit between me and this job. So it would cause me so much anxiety and stress, and it was really affecting my happiness, really. So I had to call it a day, sadly, and make the decision for myself that it wasn't worth it, like to affect me in the way that it was affecting me to continue with the job. So that's what I had to do. It was so sad, and it's been so hard because that is my dream job and I love that, and I really want to keep doing that job, but obviously not in the way that I was doing it. So I'm just really hoping that something will come up and I can go back to doing what I love. So this is the MAC Fix Plus Pink Light Spray. I did a review on this when it first came out, and it was, you know, nice, I liked it, but I just kind of went back to using my regular Fix Plus spray, and then my regular Fix Plus ran out, so I just picked this up and I've been loving it ever since. I love it. So for lips today, I'm going to be using the Jamie Genevieve MAC Collab, and I'm going to show you it with no liner, and then I'm going to show you it with Spice Liner, because it makes such a difference. On me this is too light, like you'll see, it's like the exact colour of my skin tone. It's a bit foundation lipsy, isn't it? I think in the winter it will probably be fine by itself, or if you have fairer skin than me, I think it will be fine by itself. But for me right now, it is a hair too light. So anyway, Jamie herself recommended Spice lip liner. And let me tell you, there is good reason why she's so popular. I've started lining my lips differently recently, and I think it's because Raw Beauty Christy, I watched one of her videos and she talked about how you shouldn't over define your Cupid's bow, which is definitely something I was doing, and I have a very like triangular sharp Cupid's bow, and so I was just kind of following the natural shape of it with my lip liner, and it does look weird, and I think it does make your lips look smaller. So instead I'm now curving them at the top, and I'm not going right down to where it stops, I'm just kind of going a little bit across. I feel like that makes my lips look way fuller and a more sort of poutier shape. So can you see how much of a difference that makes? It's how like it works or doesn't work with my skin tone. Obviously you can use all different lip liners, but for me, I totally agree with Jamie that this combo is everything, and add a gloss as well, and it looks really beautiful. It's got lovely, comfortable satin finish, is it? Yeah, so it is a satin lipstick. I love it. If I had the money, I'd probably buy 5 or 6 of these because they are obviously limited edition. And I feel like it's quite a unique shade, and with the Spice lip liner, it's like good for any occasion. So there you have it. This is kind of all of my favorite products I've been loving and using a lot in the month of August. I hope you guys enjoyed getting ready with me and talking about all my favorite products and seeing them on. This is obviously the finished look. Please let me know what your favorite products have been for the month of August down below. I've got quite a lot of stuff coming in the mail over the next few days, hopefully. So I'll be either doing like a try on haul, or I'll be doing some testing and some reviews of the new stuff that has come out, and I'll be right back with you ASAP. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to see you in a future video. Take care for now. Bye 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 bye.